What's up, mother cluckers? Today I am doing a Carolina style pulled pork. So what I've got here is a 10-pound pork shoulder with the bone in. I'm going to get this on the smoker tomorrow, and this is going to be about 8 to 10 hour smoke. Be setting the smoker up at 225 to 250 in that sort of region. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to season the pork. So what we'll do first is get a mustard binder on there. So what you want to do is cover your whole pork joint in this. So get a nice good covering on the top. And get that everywhere. And then do the same on the back. This is going to be quite a long smoke tomorrow. But what you want to do is once this rub is on, you want to let this set for 12 hours in your fridge. Right, so now that that's all covered, we will do our rub. Just bear with me whilst I wash my hands. So the rub that I'm using today is a blend of salt, some coarse pepper, some paprika and some cayenne pepper. So it's going to be nice and sweet with that little bit of a kick to it. But yeah, now we'll get this all on. You want to give that a good covering all over. Make sure it's all even. And you don't rub this in, you pat it in, which I'll do in a second. But make sure you get absolutely everywhere. Make sure you get all in the corners and all on your sides. And again, cover the top just like I'm doing here. I'd already prepped this and I had cut the fat cup off, but I'm assuming you guys don't want to see me cutting bits of skin off. And again, pat this in, don't rub. And don't forget the tops. So I've just flipped it over just to get a bit more on the back side of this pork shoulder. But that's pretty much it. This is all covered now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this in cling film, and then I'm going to put that in the fridge for 12 hours, and I'll bring you back tomorrow once the fire and the smoke. Hi guys, so we're back now, and as you can see I've got this sitting at 225 Fahrenheit. The pulled pork is now on, which I'll just show you. There we go. So we're about 10 minutes in now, but what I'll do is I'll bring you back in a couple of hours when I start spritzing and basting the pork shoulder. Cheers guys. Hi guys, so now that the pork shoulder is on the smoker, we're going to make the sauce. And what this is for when you wrap your pork butt or your shoulder, you pour this liquid into it, and it will help it get it nice and moist, and it gives it a nice sauce and a flavour for when you pull your pork apart. So what you need is 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. So just bear with me 2 seconds. So that's 1. Let me just open this one. And 2. So then it is 1 cup of Southern Comfort. And I will just add a little bit more in because it's Southern Comfort. There we go. Then you'll want 1 cup of water. So after the water, you'll want 2 tablespoons of molasses or black treacle black treacle. So 1 of them. And the second one. And of course my other spoon would have to fall into it. So after the treacle, it will be a little bit of salt. So about a teaspoon of salt. And then a teaspoon of coarse black pepper. Some red chilli flakes. And then the final ingredient will be 1/4 of a cup of hot sauce. So I've gone for Nando's Peri Peri. Get that in there, and then just give this a good mix. And then once we're ready to wrap the pork shoulder, we will put this mixture into the paper when it's ready.
Hi guys, so we're back again. The internal temperature has reached 165, so now I'm going to wrap it. So your leftover juice, lay that all over the top and in the pan, and then you'll want to wrap this. Wrap your tray in aluminium foil, and then put it back on your smoker until it reaches until it reaches 205 internal temp. And then it should be ready to pull apart. Cheers guys.
Hi guys, so we are back now. This has been smoking for about 8 to 10 hours now. Hit 205 internal temperature, so let's open it up and see what it looks like. As we can see, we've got some grey colour on there. The bone's practically fallen out. Got all the juices, which I'm gonna pull the meat apart in. Just let me grab some gloves. Right, so now we're back. Let's get that bone out. As you can see, that's come off clean. Absolutely perfect. Just look at that, just falling apart. As you can see, it's still very hot. It's so hot that I'm even struggling to pull it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use a bone. As you can see, it's just pulling apart lovely. And that's when you know you've done a good job, when it just falls apart in your hands. Right guys, so now this has all been pulled. I'm using tweed tongs there purely because it's so hot. But as you can see, this is pulling apart lovely. And we've got all them drippings that we're going to use. We're going to put them into some wraps with a bit of homemade potato salad, which we got there. So we're going to do some potato salad and we're going to get this in some wraps. But yeah, that's how you do a Carolina style pulled pork. 10-pound pork butt or pork shoulder. Nice bit of seasoning on there. Smoked for 8 hours, and as you can see, it's pulling apart. Cheers guys, and we'll see you in the next video.